Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. AC Pearl Quotes. In this video, I will explain about Nelson Mandela. The first president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999 was Nelson Mandela, a political figure and anti-apartheid revolutionary from South Africa. The nation's first black head of state and the first chosen in a democratic election with full representation was Nelson Mandela. His administration concentrated on addressing institutionalized racism and promoting racial harmony in order to undo the effects of apartheid. Nelson Mandela's words are included in this video. We hope that this collection of his finest statements will get you thinking about various issues in your life. The statements from Nelson Mandela are well worth your attention. To build your collection of motivational quotations, don't forget to capture screenshots of the quotes you like. We appreciate you viewing this quote video, which this time features the words of Nelson Mandela. Do you know? Nelson Mandela once said,
"Judge me by how many times I fell and got back up, not by my triumphs," the speaker said. Until it's completed, everything appears unattainable. Education is the most effective tool you can use to alter the world, they say. It is impossible to be ready for something while secretly hoping it won't happen. The sheer fact that we have lived is not what matters in life. The significance of our lives will be determined by the impact we have made on the lives of others. Holding grudges against people is like swallowing poison and hoping it will kill your adversaries. Because living a life that respects and improves the freedom of others is part of being free. Being free means more than simply throwing off one's bonds. There is nothing like going back to a place where nothing has changed to realize how much you have changed. Lead from behind, and let others think they are in front. Unless you define a saint as a sinner who never gives up, I am not a saint. Playing it safe and settling for a life that is less than what you are capable of living lacks passion. As I've already mentioned, the first step is to be sincere with yourself. If you haven't changed, you can never have an effect on society. Everyone can succeed if they are committed to and enthusiastic about what they do, regardless of their circumstances. It is stated that unless one has seen a country's prisons, one cannot completely understand them. A dreamer who never gives up is a winner. Express yourself as though everyone is listening, and live life as though no one is looking. I detest racial prejudice the most and abhor it in all of its forms. I have battled it all my life, and I will continue to do so till my death. You could be that generation because greatness can strike at any time. What distinguishes one person from another is not what is given to us, rather, it is what we do with what is given to us. We must be resourceful with our time and constantly remember that the moment is appropriate to act morally. Others who are naturally modest and simple and who have complete faith in all people, regardless of their socio-economic level, are respected and even admired universally. Personal accolades have never had any appeal to me. No one joins the battle for independence in order to receive recognition. I've never lost. Either I succeed or I learn. Independent-minded friends are my favorite kind because they force you to consider all sides of a situation. The kindness of man is a flame that may be disguised but never put out. I discovered that to degrade another person is to subject him to an unjust fate. I always won my battles, even when I was a little lad, without disgrace. Despite being a social person, I enjoy isolation much more. No South African should rest and indulge in the pleasure of freedom as long as many of our people continue to live in abject poverty, as long as children continue to sleep beneath plastic covers, and as long as many of our people continue to lack work. Eliminating poverty is a matter of justice, not charity. Poverty is not a natural state, like slavery or apartheid. It is man-made, and human effort is capable of overcoming and eliminating it. A country's treatment of its lowest inhabitants, not its highest, should be used to assess it. The greatest accomplishment in life is rising every time we fall, not falling. Where you sit affects where you stand. I am in charge of my own soul. A manager resembles a shepherd. The most agile member of the flock is allowed to walk in front while the leader stays behind, and the others follow, unaware that they have been led from behind the entire time. Always remember to smile, because appearances do count. One only discovers that there are many more hills to climb after ascending a large one. There are no absolutes in life. Great peacemakers are all individuals of honor, integrity, and modesty. Freedom is indivisible. The chains on even one of my people were the chains on them all, and the chains on all of my people were the chains on me, said Martin Luther King, Jr. The way a society treats its children cannot be a keener revelation of that culture's character. Know your opponent and find out what sport he enjoys playing. Quitting is also leadership. Turning off the heat once the water is boiling is unwise. Success is determined by how high your goals are, not where you start. Keep your rivals even closer than your buddies. Allow your magnificence to grow. Walk carefully, breathe deeply, and laugh heartily. You must take your constituents into confidence about your beliefs and declare them very clearly, very respectfully, very quietly, but yet freely, if you want to succeed in politics. Being a dissident is simpler in some respects since there are no responsibilities. Let justice be done to all. Let everyone live in peace. Let everyone have access to employment, bread, water, and salt. Let everyone know that they are now free to pursue their own desires in terms of the body, mind, and spirit. A man has no option but to become an outlaw when he is denied the freedom to live the life he believes in. Without language, it is impossible to communicate with and comprehend others, understand their history, enjoy their poetry, or enjoy their music. A good heart combined with a good brain is a potent combination. However, when you combine that with a literate tongue or pen, you have something truly unique. I was aware that if I didn't put my resentment and hatred behind me as I stepped out the door and approached the gate leading to my freedom. It gets into a man's brain if you speak to him in a language he can understand. Speaking to him in his language touches his heart. You will accomplish more in this world by acting with kindness than you will by acting with vengeance. For the sake of peace, courageous individuals do not fear forgiving. The brave guy is the one who overcomes his anxieties, not the one who has no fears. Nowhere is the road to liberation an easy one, and many of us will have to repeatedly traverse the valley of the shadow of death before we arrive at our desired peak. Men respond to stress in different ways and with varied capacities. But the stronger ones helped the weaker ones rise higher, and both grew stronger as a result. Those who act morally, with integrity, and consistently need not be afraid of the forces of brutality and inhumanity. There aren't many setbacks in this world that you can't overcome if you have the strength of character and the appropriate abilities. We owe a life free from violence and terror to our children, who are the most defenseless members of any community. Some men are broken by difficulties, while others are made. A sinner who persists in his sin and is equipped with the belief that he will triumph in the end cannot be cut by an axe sharp enough to pierce the soul. Real leaders must be prepared to give everything up for their people's freedom. I hope your decisions show your dreams, not your worries. Courage is motivating people to overcome their fear, not the absence of fear.
It's a quote from Nelson Mandela, a man of knowledge and understanding, from which we take the positive, discard the unnecessary, and prepare for the future.